Welcome to the live. There's a new Instagram reel up on our Instagram. That's pretty funny in my opinion. It's pretty bad, but it's funny. If you guys are into the whole TikToks and things like that. Right, Tony? Tony's a TikTok man.
Absolutely.
Making daily TikToks. They're all the same, but they're pretty funny. My seat won't go down.
The
Well,
button
oh,
What he
there it
gets for
goes.
talking shit, Tony.
Huh?
What he gets for talking shit.
I don't even know what he said.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what. Hey, what are you after, bro?
Oh.
Hang on, I gotta jump over to the other live or my other account here so then I can go to the live Instagram. Are we broadcasting yet or no?
We're broadcasting.
I don't know. Are we?
Says we are.
No,
Says we are.
the internet
Says we are.
says we're not. Did you guys get a notification
What?
for Instagram? You have to hit start
That's not
broadcast.
up. Oh, hang on. There we go.
Tom made a boo boo
I forgot to hit a button.
as usual. There we go. Now we're live.
All right, there we go. Sorry, guys.
You made a boo boo. All right, we're
Forgot to hit a
in,
button.
ladies
Sorry,
and
boys.
gentlemen. I indeed got a notification. Okay, good. YouTube's cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you. So YouTube is cool. Tony's first. Eric is second. Hi, Eric. Hope the drive is going well for you guys. We have a crew currently on our way to Texas
For reindeer games.
Reindeer Games, so that's exciting. So yeah, for anyone who has a ticket to Reindeer Games, it'll be a really fun event. I went last year, and we'll be going again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently working on until some questions roll in. I guess I'll just ramble.
I mean, let's talk about last weekend.
Well, yeah, so what I was gonna say is we were at MSATO for Shock Op 2. Absolute blast. I had a great time.
I loved it. That was awesome. I got up for 2 hours and had an absolute blast in the 2 hours I was out there.
Yeah, I have not played that facility before. It's very small for a lot of like larger scale games, but in my opinion, played extremely well, and tons of like awesome CQB indoor like just. Oh man, I was in heaven.
Yeah, it was
I had a
awesome.
great time.
It was awesome. All the buildings have boarded up windows, so it's really dark in there. So people could run day nods and stuff if they wanted to. It was crazy going into some of those places. You're allowed up on the rooftops to fight, which is crazy fun, crazy nuts. We
Whole
got
different
to
aspect.
we got to bring out the band a little bit. That was so much fun doing a shield team.
Yeah, it was genuinely a great time. Currently working on a gameplay video for it as well, so trying to bring back the YouTubes and the channel to bring things back to gameplay videos and things like that. I did one for Black Site. The run cam crapped out on me though, so I had to make like a shorter edit for that.
Yeah.
But this one, I got tons of run cam footage. I have GoPro footage and night vision footage, which is really, really cool. So hopefully integrate that into this MSATO gameplay.
Yeah.
And then this weekend, I will be grabbing Reindeer Games gameplay footage as well. So trying to revamp the YouTube and bring some gameplay footage back for you guys. Very excited to do that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a large undertaking.
A little bit. I mean, yeah, and photos from events and things like that, just to bring more to you guys after the events and things along those lines. So
Definitely.
very excited for that. Yeah.
I got one question over here. Hey guys, please recommend best HPA engine for Speedsoft. Thank you. So what I would say is probably a Jack or Inferno is going to be your best option there for price. You don't if you're doing Speedsoft, you want obviously fast trigger response. You want just high speed fire. You don't really need all that a dual solenoid system gives you, such as the F2 or the Fusion engine, and you're honestly probably spending more money than you need for what you're using it for in those regards, because they're like $500 systems versus like a $350 system. I would not go with an N7, Kythera, or Reaper because they're mechanical systems with a lower rate of fire for semi-auto.
Yeah.
So I would stick with something that's an electronic system. I would go with a single solenoid system over a dual solenoid system. And if you really do want a little bit extra out of that, go with a black leaf trigger board because it's a little bit more sensitive of a micro switch than what's stock on the Inferno and the Jack. And then the final upgrade I would do there is with a hair tuned speed trigger, so you can really kind of feather the trigger there, get some rounds down range, put some heads down under, get some heads down behind
Just
cover.
keep consistent fire.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can tune those engines too to be air efficient as well, since you're going to be laying down a lot of rounds too. Air efficient and quite consistent with your groupings. And considering speed QB, I mean, Terry? What would you say is the length of a speed QB course, like wall to wall, like 100 feet, 200 feet?
Something
So
around there.
speed QB official, I think there's a range between, I can remember correctly, it was like 180 feet on the smallest, and then and I'm talking length, 180 feet on the smallest field, up to I think 320 feet on one of the European fields. So that's all the speed QB official sizing, because you can see that on their website.
The European fields are a lot different, overseas.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
So like off rips, you're probably sprinting, 30 to 50 feet, and you're now cut down to 250 feet max that you'll be shooting. Well, if it's 50 on both sides, 200 feet max.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to need this absolute monstrous engine like
No.
a Fusion engine or an
No.
F2 to tune for groupings and.
Unless you're a back player.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you do
gotta
play
throw
that
ropes.
back position theoretically, but you're going to be able to hold groupings no problem.
I think when we talk about dual solenoid systems, it's more about air efficiency. And if you're in an indoor CQB field, you can refill your tank between matches and you're fine. But if you're playing a milsim game where you're going out for a long period of time, then we're talking about there's a period where you're not going to be able to refill your air. So
You're good. I'm just.
no. I'm sorry. That's just what you're doing. So I mean, I think that's when you really start looking at a dual solenoid, when you start caring about air efficiency. You don't have to worry about air efficiency. Save some money, go with the Jack and Inferno. They'll do pretty much the exact same thing for the use case that it's for.
Yeah. So that's a cool question. Absolutely, single solenoids are gonna do you great, and they'll fit in anything too. So if you're trying to build like a kind of Franken body, cut the weight down and things along those lines,
Yeah.
you can fit a drop in anything you want, anything your heart desires. Got it.
90
Thanks.
by 50 feet.
90 by 50.
Yeah.
Oh, so barely 100 feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most people usually use like a 7-inch barrel. Most people aren't using like full length,
That's crazy. I thought it was a lot bigger.
10.5-inch rails, unless that's what they like to use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's cool. Yeah. So single solenoid all the way.
But the longer the barrel is more for like back players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would it be worth it to tap a scattergun?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Entirely. You get better consistency is the biggest upgrade of that. You don't have to worry about weather conditions as much because you're not weather conditions. Weather conditions.
I could barely understand it.
Weather conditions.
There you go.
But yes, absolutely. Tap a scattergun is the way to go.
They're cool. Yeah, they're very cool. I still want to do a MP9 at some point.
I'm waiting for once we open the field to redo my 870, my 870 Preacher.
Yeah. I the one dude overseas, he took a KWA MP9 and put a F2 in it.
MP9, not an MP7.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be ideal. And apparently, the KWA like Ronin mag, they're sticks.
Yeah, I love those.
They fit in, and you just have to Dremel a notch, and they lock in.
Oh shit!
Yeah, a bunch of 3D printing and engineering, but
That's cool.
that'd be very, very cool.
That is very cool.
But hats off to that guy. He wanted something, and he went after it. So, mad respect.
Yeah.
But yeah, tapping a scatter going to be a lot of fun. You don't have to worry about a gas. I did get told that it was just overkill because it has 6-shot mode.
I don't think it's overkill. I think
How much you pull the trigger is what we consider overkill.
yeah, and I also think if you're tapping your scattergun, you do gain the ability to increase the pressure, but you can just keep the pressure equal to what it would be as a gas or a CO2 gun,
Yeah.
and then it's the same thing just with better consistency. I think a lot of people who run a gas shotgun end up loving it for about a month or two, then they start dealing with the inconsistency problems
And leaks.
and leaks. Oh my god, yeah, leaks. And then I think a lot of them end up looking back at like a spring shotgun, because spring shotguns in airsoft, if you're playing a CQB, are actually ridiculously good. Like a $60 spring shotgun tri-shot,
UTG tri-shots,
they're
baby.
insane. They're awesome. I would buy those, run them for like a month. Something would break, and then I would just be like, all right, I'll just buy another $60 gun. Like,
Dude, I
You
had
have to
one
care
for
of 'em.
years.
Yeah.
They just, I don't know. That's back in the day when you didn't see anything over a .25, you know, in CQB. So like running 2.5s in a tri shot was crazy. It was a good time. What PSI should I run it at? If it's running off of green gas operates at about 80 psi, depending on weather conditions. Obviously, it varies if it's cold or warm. You could run 80 psi for your regulator, or less, or more, depending. I wouldn't go much over that though, if
Yeah.
it is a green gas shotgun, because all of the internal components, including the O-rings and such, are designed for that 80 psi. So introducing more is putting a lot more strain on the system. But 80 psi is usually good for a green gas shotgun. Same with pistols. It goes for the size pistols. Unless you upgrade it and beat things up, and then they're built to do it. But until you do that, keep it around the psi of the gas that it's designed for.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if it's a TM. If it's a TM, definitely try and keep it around that PSI, because TMs notoriously run lower pressure gases, like duster gas.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you start trying to go past that, yes, you're going to get more FPS, more power behind it, but you're going to start blowing seals.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Sounds fun, though. If you could get one platform to totally upgrade, what would it be, and what would the upgrades be? If you could get one platform.
I'm talking about like an M4 or an
probably.
AK, something like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine a gun, and then you could just max it out. What would it be?
For me, I'm going to be boring. It'd be an M4, because that's I like using airsoft a lot for like training to use my real AR. So I would try and deck it out to be how I would run my real AR.
If I would do it, it'd probably be my no, I was gonna say I would probably try to get in my old PTW, my 08.
See, that's where my brain went. Is like probably the GBLS would be what I deck out to be very similar.
Yeah.
But see, there's two ways I look at me decking out a gun. It's either A, I'm doing this because this works best for airsoft, or B, I'm doing this because this is how I would like to run my real rifle. But I also recognize that airsoft gun shoots like 1/100th the distance of a real rifle. So there's that to account for. So there's certain things that obviously an airsoft gun is not going to be able to fully be good at training wise. So there's certain times where I'll go like, oh, well, this will just work better for the airsoft game that I'm playing. Or I'll go full send on, well, this is how my real rifle's decked out, so I'm going to do that.
I mean, I was just going off of he just wants the best for very upgraded airsoft gun. Yeah, I would do the 08 PTW with 08 electronics, rewound motor to like 16 TPA, Orga wide bore, which is weird, but Orga wide bore, Orga flat hop, a little arm piece. It's not really called a nub for the PTW, and a stock hop for that in the rebuilt cylinders and reshipped gearbox, and call it a day. And my Geisley rail and things like that.
I think
what a time to be alive. I miss that gun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like
GBLS.
Yeah, but like the GBLS. Yep. Just the GBLS.
Hard to justify anything else.
And then if you can find one for cheaper price, then yes, the GBLS with a RHOP barrel is pretty much done.
Budget ain't the option. Budget doesn't matter. This is just
That's true. That's true. Okay, so GBLS with all the new PTS mags for it, because those actually work well. The first gens were a little bit wonky. They came out with version 2. Those are good. I've run those. I love them. It fixes the capacity problem that you have a lot with the GBLSs, because now you can run a 120 capacity magazine instead of the 45 rounders or 60 rounders that you normally would have. And then I would do a RHOP edgy barrel with a modified black, or actually I would do the GBLS's bucking that they have on the website, because it's a very particular rubber that they use, and it works really well for those guns. The guns are designed as an enclosed system. They're not really made to be upgraded, but there's definitely some upgrades that I would like in there.
Right.
But yeah, GBLS.
Sick. What would you guys build first? Gucci M4 platform or AK platform, and what brand would you go with? Very subjective.
Yeah.
If I were to build an M4, it would probably be a VFC salt mod.
Yeah.
And do like a little bit older style. I like VFCs because they offer like the salt mod, the Mark 18, the Block 2, 416, segment on M4, but it falls into that 5.56 category. And if you're going to do an AK, I could do LCT.
Yeah. So if the question is like, what would I do first, an M4 or an AK? I'll be honest with you. I would do an M4 first because if you're in the middle of a game and you run out of mags, or you run out of BBs in your mags, or you're trying to just have compatibility and all the accessories possible across the board, I would do an M4. It's a lot easier and cheaper to do an M4 than AK build. But honestly, AK builds, they right now have come out with so many aftermarket parts and so many different clones of like Zenko stuff that you can pretty much do whatever you want to an M4 with an AK as well. I just also think M4 mags are easier to use, and there's a lot more brand accessibility for M4 magazines than AK magazines. That's what I would do.
Yeah, starting out, M4s are usually the best, but if you know you're gonna get an AK eventually, or that's really what you want, there's no reason to spend money on something you're not gonna enjoy.
That's true too.
So, but either way, can't go wrong. VFC or LCT.
I think I got three over here. Hi guys, is it normal or okay that the HP engine wiggles a little bit in the gearbox on an M4? You're talking about like very, very tiny amount, like when you see it, like you can kind of vibrate it just a tiny bit, but it takes a little bit of force. That's okay. If you're talking about like it's sloppy movements in there, no, that's not okay. You should probably do a wrap of electrical tape, or you should get those shims, those brass shims that go on the post of the gearbox. That will definitely help with that. Yeah. Yeah, there's a degree in which it's okay. You still should not really have much, but it's okay. If you have a lot of wiggle room, though, no, because then you're going to be screwing up feeding a lot. You're going to be screwing up consistency. You're going to be screwing up nozzle alignment all over the place. Like, definitely try and keep that as tight as possible. There is a little bit of play allowed, though. And what else we got?
What upgrade should I do to a SEMA MP5?
That is totally good.
I mean, depends on the SEMA MP5. I mean, if you're doing the MP5K, actually all the MP5s, the pop-up units are proprietary, so you do keep that. In my opinion, you just want to do a maple leaf bucking, an Omega nub, and if budget allows, an edgy barrel. If it doesn't, you could drop down to like a ZCI or PDI, and that way your barrel build is completely squared away. If you're still after more performance, upgrades-wise, you could easily swap out the motor for something a little bit more high torque without going into the gearbox. But if you're going into the gearbox, that's going to be a whole laundry list of things like gate tighten gears that you want, piston, cylinder, piston head, cylinder head, nozzle, tablet plate, springs to your desired FPS, shims, things like that. So you can take the gun to the moon. It's a version 3 if we're talking about the MP5K, and then the limited edition, I believe, is a version 2.
So let's go this route, because I think we get this question asked without it being asked a lot. It's kind of directed towards one platform or another, but it's universal. What is your go-to gearbox build?
I don't know. I mean, they stay pretty consistent. It depends on budget too. I mean, siege checks haven't been available for a while, so I haven't been able to use them. But it's just a Gate Titan 12 or 13-to-1 SHS or rocket gears, Kratos piston, rocket palm or the polymer piston head, depending on the length of barrel, the max cylinder, usually stock cylinder head, stock nozzle unless you're swapping out a combat union, ZCI high torque, I say Gate Titan. I think it's Gate Titan. Yeah. ASG spring for desired FPS. Usually it's an M95 or an M105. Usually anything built for like 1.4 joules or under. ZCI high torque. If it's a combat union, the combat union hop, or the Lonex hop, maple leaf 70 to 75 degree super macron bucking, Omega nub, and an edgy stainless steel barrel is like go-to. And then if siege techs were available, I'd swap those gears out. AOE correction and shooting.
Do you do any sword buff pad for the AOE correction?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
the reason I asked that is because I have a very, very similar build list. Probably one or two parts would be different. But the reason I asked that is because, guys, pretty much when we talk about AEG builds, when we say swapping stuff out, that's probably the list of parts we would go for universally for a version 3 or version 2 build, is because there's a version 3 version of a gate and there's a version 2 version of a gate. But realistically, all those other parts outside of nozzle length and cylinders for desired barrel length are pretty much going to be the same across the board in a version 3 versus the version 2. So when we get asked the question, what would you upgrade and how would you do the upgrade, that's probably how we would do an AEG upgrade, is that list of parts he just said.
Yeah.
So
it applies to both. Obviously, short type versus long type motor and gate type you pick.
Yeah.
Different, but otherwise, you're the same.
But okay. Do you have any more over there? I have a few over here.
I mean, I do. So yeah, whatever.
Let me hit one more of these. Okay, we already did that. Good afternoon, and awesome spending the lunch hour with you guys. Thanks, Dark Horse. And let me do this one. Crytek versus VFC end the argument right now, lol, on all their platforms, lol.
They're both great. You're not going to be.
You're not going to end the argument.
Yeah,
because
they're both good.
They're both super, super good.
You're splitting hairs.
We have this argument every. Like, I feel like this.
It's not even an argument. It's a discussion.
Yeah, it's more like it gets brought up because they are so good. Both of them are so good. It's hard to recommend one over the other, to the point where we end up splitting hairs. He's more on the VFC side. I understand why. I'm on the VFC side for a certain amount of reasons, and then I end up being pretty much overall a Crytek person because I think out of the box they are really good. Their machining is really great, but for upgradability, they're not that good as an AG, because their gears are proprietary, slightly, but enough that you really can't put SHSs in very easily aftermarket. But their parts are so well made that I really love Crytek's. But from an upgradability standpoint, I have to go with the VFC. You're, like we said, we're splitting hairs at that point.
One thing to take into consideration with anything that's highly debated, if two products or two companies are very highly debated and debated very frequently, it proves that both the companies are doing something right.
Yeah.
These two companies get brought up all the time in comparison, regularly, and everyone, in my opinion, is split down the middle. If that doesn't speak, 1,000 words, you can't go wrong with either.
Yeah.
So you're not going to end that debate. It's never going to be over unless one company decides to just throw in the towel. But at the moment, and I foresee a long time, they're going to be very, very tight competitors.
Yeah. The only thing I will say too, which kind of puts VFC a little bit ahead of Crytek, is if you're looking for a particular gun model, like an MCX, 416, and Mark 18, VFC has the licensing for all of those guns. Correct. Crytek doesn't. Crytek has their own line of guns. That's what they have outside of the Vector, I think,
Barrett.
And the Barrett line
Barrett
of guns.
series.
But
they
those,
look good.
But those are like not the gun models that a lot of people go with. They go with because they want a 416 for a certain loadout.
Right.
They want a Mark 18. Mark 18 is like the big one.
I would say so.
And the MCX right now.
The MCX is dope. I mean, it's a great gun. It really does shoot well.
And those are all VFC.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. If there's a clear winner if you're going for a certain gun look, which is VFC.
Terry's literally putting a Fusion Engine 1 right now.
Yeah.
The MCX is it's crazy.
Yeah. But that's what I would say is if you're trying to really end the debate, I'd say VFC probably offers a lot more to their lineup than Crytek does, even though performance-wise they are both.
It's a Whataburger versus In-N-Out debate.
Yes.
They're both very good. One has a few more options that are very good. And it depends on what you're after. That's all. But anyway, I'm not getting into that one.
No. I have one more over here.
Hit it.
And I think this is referring to the Crytek versus the VFC. One has a taller sector gear. No. Yes. It's not even like a taller sector gear. It's like the machining that holds the gear together inside of the gearbox is tighter in a Crytek than a VFC, and so you don't have the space when you're trying to put in a different sector gear.
V2 versus V3.
Oh, no, they're pretty much the exact same. Yeah, they're pretty much the exact same.
Ordered a new build from y'all, so excited for it to come in. Oh yeah, dude! Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for the support. I hope that you really do enjoy it. Should be a good time.
Yeah, we're pounding through builds right now.
What's the best engine of 2022 into 2023?
I don't know.
Well,
I think-
2023 is going to offer us some new stuff.
And we don't really know. The most new engine, right, is going to be the Gates engine. We haven't been able to test it yet. Nobody has it really in stock yet. I mean, I think a few people actually do. They are trickling in right now.
Yeah, they're gonna.
But we haven't been able to test that yet, so it'll be very interesting to see. Right now, if we're going off of this year, since 2022, right now I still think the F2 is probably going to be the top of the line engine to go with for right now. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones on the market right now that would upset it. But currently, for the past few years, the F2's been the reigning king as far as the best engine. Again, because of that dual solenoid and because it's in a single cylinder setup compared to other options on the market.
Opinions on the new Mancraft V3 drop-in engines you have?
We haven't really finalized all the testing on those yet, so I'm not really going to have an opinion on it yet. I do think we will, but I still want to throw it through a few more tests to see how it's doing. It seems like it's working out really well, though. Fitment's been weird, but otherwise, I think it's going to be a really cool option that we have on the site. Obviously, it's on the site right now, but I'm not really going to give my opinion yet. I want to put it through a few more tests.
If you convert an AEG to HPA, is it necessary to upgrade internals? If so, which parts? I'd imagine you're talking about like your gearbox and stuff, like your shell, because that's all that's going to be left if you convert to HPA. No, it is not necessary. There is no stress on the gearbox anymore because you no longer have a piston and spring and X, Y, and Z moving things around, causing a front force to the front of the gearbox.
The only internals that I would upgrade is if you still have like a stock barrel bucking setup. That would be the only internals I would say you might want to upgrade. But outside of that, you don't even need to necessarily when switching to HPA. So yeah, outside of that, you don't need to do any other upgrades because the HPA unit itself is the upgrade.
Filipino Mini, please. No. No, that's mine. That is not for anyone else.
Oh, Benjamin Franklin.
Yes, they joined.
Hey guys.
Very excited to work with AMP for our night vision shoot and more. We are very excited.
Yeah, we are extremely excited about that, guys. So if
we're gonna be making a post about it. I'm gonna get it prepped and ready.
Okay, yeah. But for those of you in the chat right now, because you guys get first dibs, if you guys don't know, we are working with a local outdoor range to help start doing some work with some real firearms guys, providing night vision rentals. We're going to be bringing up some airsoft guns as well for them to try in their shoot house. It is in the Templeton, PA area, Katanning area. If you guys are from Pennsylvania, it is a giant facility, and these guys have been awesome with working with us. I love working with these guys. They're an awesome group of dudes to work with. If you guys can make it out to one of their night shoots, airsoft guns are totally welcome, as well as real firearms. So as long as everybody's following safety protocols and everything and treating airsoft guns as the real guns, everybody is completely welcome to show up and have a fun time with us. If you guys haven't seen their post, we'll be having a post up soon. You guys get some more information on that.
I shared it like the other day.
Yeah.
So it's out there. If you need any direct information, just shoot us a DM. I'll send you the post.
If you guys are looking for night vision rentals, go do that as well. We have them up on our page. The duels are already gone. The first
on December 30th.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, it's very exciting. Very exciting. So yeah, we do some promotional stuff for that as well, so you guys will get a chance to see that and come out and say what's up and have a fantastic time. I'm wanting the HPMA AK VM M60. Any suggestions as budget? Jack or Gentle?
Yeah, Jack or an Inferno, but if you're doing an M60, I would really suggest getting an F2 for air efficiency. LMGs, you really start caring about air efficiency more than any other platform.
True, but if we're talking sheerly budget,
Inferno or Jack.
and then barrel stuff. Honestly, I do barrel stuff before you do the jack.
Yeah.
Get it shooting well as an AG, like better. Make sure barrel set has been through the through the paces a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of me.
It's super easy.
Yeah, I know. But and then go ahead and convert to either a Inferno or Jack. They're both gonna be very, very comparable, and you're gonna be happy with them. Favorite sniper platform in Airsoft?
It's between the Silverback SRS and the VSR-10. VSR-10 classically is just super awesome. Now there have been some really cool new sniper platforms that have come out, like the Ares ASO1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Silverback is just freaking awesome. And I love the bullpup.
The TAC 40, isn't it the TAC 41?
TAC 41 is also really cool.
Isn't that Silverback though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Absolutely. Like I love the bullpup one. Like it's super cool. But then when we built the shop one, and it is just like, I don't know, is it chilling in the hallway?
I think so. Yeah.
You're good. I love this one.
Hey guys, we're just gonna chill here for a minute, just so that we don't get off the topic. But also, I guess I'll keep talking about sniper rifles. Sniper rifles are very interesting to build on because they are pretty much just a Springer that you can upgrade, and that's the basic way of looking at it. The other sniper platform, if you want to go like not bolt action sniper rifle, but you want to go DMR sniper rifle, SR25 is great, SVD is great. But SR25 for upgrading is a lot easier than SVD. Also VSS technically, because it's a DMR, it's a sniper, but realistically, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about a sniper rifle.
Yeah, I very much like this rifle. It looks super good, and it shoots phenomenally, bone stock. So once we upgrade it, it'll be even more, more fantastic. Favorite feature for sure is the hop-up wheel right here.
Oh God, I love that. Yeah,
it clicks into place, and I like that it actually kind of looks like your traditional style rifle, rather than the bullpups, which are a little like funky.
Yeah.
But this thing is sick. I do like the paint job on it a lot. So.
Well, that was a custom.
Well, yeah, but
Mr. Ryan.
But I like the rifle.
Oh yeah,
The feel is really nice. It's lightweight, but it's super like there's no rattles. Like it just feels.
Yeah.
No, it just feels great. M-lock. Like.
No, yeah. So then we have a few more here. I heard PDI was going out of business. Is that true? I do not believe that's true. I haven't really heard anything about them going out of business, and we are currently placing orders with them, and they're fulfilling those orders. So I would say they're still very much in business. Yeah, I do. Do you have any airsoft shop? We currently are an airsoft shop. We are Amped Airsoft. You can go to ampedairsoft.com to go to our web store. Yeah.
Or shop locally in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Into that.
Yes.
What do you prefer, building my own HPM for or buying one pre-built off Amped? That is totally up to you.
Yeah.
If you're, a techie type and you like to, tinker and build things on your own, we absolutely think that it's a great idea. But if you don't feel comfortable doing it, or you just don't want to do the work, we do our damnedest to make the gun shoot as good as humanly possible. And
there's a warranty on it if you ever have any problems with it or anything like that. There's a few different reasons why you would go pre-built versus buying one yourself and working on yourself. Mainly, then you have a warranty on it to make sure that it's shooting to the crazy degree that you're paying for. Or you could just get one and work on it yourself if you're planning on upgrading. If you're not planning on upgrading and you just want to go, shoot a stock good gun out of the box, you can get a VFC or a Crytek and then be completely happy with it. Those guns shoot great out of the box.
Well, I mean, what, like an AEG?
Yeah, just an AEG.
Well, he's talking about building an HPA pre-built or getting us to build it.
Okay, so sorry, I misread the question. So in my opinion, I'll be honest, HPA is probably one of the easiest upgrades you can do. Nozzle alignment for HPA is the hardest part. If you do not feel comfortable with your ability and you don't want to spend a lot of time with nozzle alignment, then have somebody, us or anybody else that does HPA installs, do it for you. We've been doing it for years now, and we have a large library of guns that we do it for because we've been able to test a lot of things and know a lot of things. You know a thing too, because I've seen a thing or two. But I would say if you're not comfortable teching on it at all, then I would definitely have somebody pre-build it for you. If you are comfortable doing AEG builds, you can totally do an HPA build.
So totally just on your end, totally what you feel comfortable with. But either way, man, if you have any questions throughout the journey, you can always reach out and ask.
Yeah. I think I have two more over here. How much the cost for a good airsoft COT pistol? What's a Gen 4 Glock CO2 going for?
180.
180. Yeah, I would say that would be the one I would get for you, or a hater if you're trying to go for the cheap route, which was like $86.
$89, I don't know. Price always goes up.
Yeah, so that's what I would say would be the cost of a good airsoft CO2 pistol. Do you have any over there?
I like warranty for sure. I feel like I've spent more money building my own than going out and buying a pre-built. I mean, that does happen.
Yeah.
If you make mistakes and you break components while installing it, it is going to cost you more in the long run. Or not really in the long run, but it will cost you more in that instance.
Yeah.
But if you're extremely confident or you've done it multiple times, you do save a little bit of money when just doing it once. Paying the labor charge or whatever.
Yeah.
Which isn't much.
No, and honestly, our labor charge is probably a lot lower than a lot of other places' labor charge. Plus, we give you a way to discount the labor charge too.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I mean, you're absolutely right. And the warranty is nice if you're just using the gun and then all of a sudden something happens, like manufacturer defect. It's much easier to be like, well, okay, you guys built this happened. I'm like, oh, yep, sounds about right. Just send her back. We'll get her taken care of, and then ship it back out. Which is a super nice feature. Unless, like I said, unless you like to work on your own stuff and fix your own stuff, you can just order the parts you need and fix it.
Yeah. I got two over here. If I buy a new rifle and want to add some upgrades to it, do you guys offer service where you guys install them for me? Just joined, don't know if somebody asked already. No, you're all good, man. So nobody asked that one yet today. We only do HPA upgrades, and right now, because of the holiday season, we are completely slammed, and we're not really doing any mail-in or anything like that upgrade builds for HPAs right now. We do have some currently in that are still being worked on and being worked through, but we're not allowing any new ones in right now just because we got slammed Black Friday, and we're getting slammed daily until probably mid-January is pretty much when it trails off. After that, we will start allowing new custom requested builds in from the emails and stuff and DMs. As far as AEG installs, we don't do any of those currently right now, other than maybe some small ones like a battery swap to Dean's, or if you have a true quick change system like on the Scorpion SEMA Platinum or Scorpion Evo, where it's like just quickly swap it out. I don't even have to open up the body or anything.
Or like motor tabs, like if someone comes and reads, "Oh, my gun's not working," we'll like glance over and check the basic.
Or you want a hop-up build done very quickly. We can do stuff like that, but anything that involves like opening up the gearbox, doing gear shimming, AOE correction, anything like that, any aftermarket upgrades, like a gate tighten install, we're currently not doing any of that just because we do not currently have the ability to accommodate
the manpower.
Yeah, we don't have a manpower right now.
Yeah. I'm on a budget. Should I get a Polar Star F2 or Fusion engine? What's the big difference?
F2. Immediately, F2. Just because I like the Fusion engine still. The Fusion engine still has a place. There's more upgradability with Fusion engine, but the F2 pretty much is a shrunken down Fusion engine. You still have a poppet that you can upgrade and change out. You have different springs you can upgrade and change out. And you have a large assortment of nozzles you can change out. The big difference between the two, both dual solenoid systems, the big difference between the two is I can take that F2 and swap it from my M4 into my AK platform, just swap a nozzle, and I'm good to go.
Trigger board.
And the trigger board, yes, sorry. And I'm completely good to go. If I want to change that Fusion engine out, I can only do it between M4s.
Yeah. version 2 platform.
Yeah, only version 2 platforms, and then sometimes it even gets a little bit wacky trying to fit that into certain version 2 platforms with the selector plates and everything.
Yeah, being able to retain the stock selector plate and trigger and all the pinholes and everything like that, it works because it's designed for that body.
Yeah,
and it just does make your life a little bit easier if you want to keep ambidextrous stuff like you said.
That's the big one. The selector plate is probably the biggest thing that we deal with when we're doing custom builds, with ones that are ambidextrous.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing to overcome, and that's why I would say if you can do the F2 and keep your stock gearbox, do that.
Dusty asks, is that a monolithic upper on that M4 above what's said? Oh, Dusty, this ain't no monolithic upper, brother.
Oh God.
This thing is what we like to call
The Franken build.
It's definitely just thrown together. It's the Avalon upper where the receiver is a different height than the rail system. So this is
There's a G&G gearbox in it.
This was an ARP9 at one point. Now it's something. I don't know.
Tony, how do you like your gun?
It's great.
No, it didn't.
It didn't this
It
weekend.
was cold. It
Um,
sat in the trailer overnight.
So did my SEMA AK.
And that ran fine.
Well,
Bro,
shut up.
there's still
still
battery
battery
in
in there.
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should probably take that out.
Dude's out here just
See, it still goes. He's free balling
look
it.
at this rate of fire. Dude. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Feeds every round.
No, it
Except,
doesn't.
last weekend when it didn't.
You know, Tom.
You know what, Tom? That's what he says. You know what, Tom?
Oh no, the vertical one with the airline. That's just a Wolverine MTW. That's a Gen 1 Wolverine MTW.
Oh no, it's not monolithic. Yeah. Sorry, I called Tony out unintentionally. Because he asked the gun above my head. I mean,
That's not cool.
bro, it's just facts.
The MTW is directly above your head.
What are you talking about?
No, my gun's above your head.
Exactly.
You weren't leaned over there.
Yeah, I was.
Go back to
He
where you
needs to
were.
get into the camera
I'm
view.
in the camera
He
view,
has to
bro.
lean.
Right here.
You weren't leaning.
He was. He
I
had to
was.
be.
I was like this the whole time. You watching the live.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to know?
No, I'm not.
Exactly. You don't know
We
where
are
the camera.
watching the live.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
No, it is not.
We're watching the live. Behind the scenes.
No, this isn't the live. This is just us talking.
Yeah.
If you're watching the live, you'd be a viewer. In the.
We are the viewers before the viewers.
Yeah, there's no delay. They have no
There's
delay.
absolutely no latency for us. We're the laugh track.
I have not heard a single laugh track.
Thank you.
Oh.
Sounds like Tony's gun.
You guys should pull up the actual laugh tracks from like iCarly or something. You ever watched the video where they did? It was either like Friends or like whatever those shows are with the laugh tracks. Edited out the laugh tracks.
It's just
It is
awkward.
the most awkward. Like I'm uncomfortable watching it, but it's just a TV show.
I got two more over here.
Dusty says it's okay. Calling out Tony is a fair trade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
About the guy that was asking about a CO2 pistol, he said, "Can we need license for this airsoft guns?" And also he asked, "And also, do you sell customized skins for airsoft guns?" So, depending on where you're at, you may need. I hate you so much.
Yeah, they hit him with the ooh. Right. Yeah.
You good? You good? Oh, he's just dying. So, do we need a license for airsoft guns? That really depends on what country you're from, and it also might depend on what state you're in the United States. Currently, there's certain areas and states that restrict the sale of airsoft guns. There isn't a license or anything that they offer right now for people who want to buy them. But then, if you live in certain countries, you don't need a license. You just need to have certain airsoft guns that meet certain requirements. What are they doing?
What are you playing now?
Emotional background music. Keep talking.
So there's certain countries that do restrict it. Why are we listening to this? Is this like from Brother Bear?
Yeah, what is
This is
from Brother
Halo.
Bear?
This is Halo.
No, it's not.
Sounds like it.
This sounds like Brother Bear.
It's when brother dies.
That just went EDM.
Yeah, I gotta hit him with the ooh, laugh. The crickets. That's when Tom tells a joke. Crickets.
The other question that was asked was, and also, do you sell customized skins for airsoft guns? So we don't sell customized skins, but what we do, what we are currently working on is working with Rogue Custom to bring in some crazy all pre-painted guns and offer those as guns. Yeah, that's for some reason Rogue's sound now. But no, we're working with Rogue Custom, and we're trying to bring in some of his guns to offer you guys some crazy looking guns. You guys are into that stuff, so we're going to be bringing some of that in. But we currently don't offer like stickers or skins or anything like that. If you're looking at this TAC, what is it, TAC 41? This is all just done with some spray paint. And Ryan does a really good job of doing these spray paints on these guns. Looking crazy good, but you're talking about like what, $10 for spray paint, $15 for spray paint,
Like 20. Yeah, 4 colors, so like $5.
yeah, so like $5 a can for some different spray paint, and that's what you're looking at with that.
Yeah, they're cool. Paint everything. Paint the world.
Oh,
Except my guns.
So Tom will. No one will remember your name.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
But yes.
Paint the world. Even Terry's got a paint gun.
yeah, I have a thing. Oh,
Gang, gang.
okay.
I wonder how that happened. Terry falling off the second story. Freaking staircase.
That wasn't the second story.
I know. I like to be
It
dramatic.
was a mobile home.
It was a mobile home.
There was a hill, and then there was a staircase, and then you fell off the staircase, and you kind of halfway rolled down the hill.
slanted staircase.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Terry falling.
Terry kicking Tony in the head. Yes, that was fun. I'm excited to get the blacks. Not
I'm sorry,
video.
that'll be a fun video. That was super fun. This weekend was awesome.
I had a good time.
I had a great time. It was cold. Right
It
by.
was freezing cold, and it was raining, and it was miserable, but playing was awesome.
Yeah, we were dealing with like 28 to 32 degree temperatures all weekend, and then it rained on Saturday.
Yeah, the one day that it was 45 degrees, it poured down rain.
That was like 35.
It was like
No,
35, yeah, so
I thought it was like 40, 43 degrees that
It
day.
was barely 40.
Yeah.
It was in the 30s the
And
entire
windy.
weekend.
it was freezing is the point.
Very cold.
Our tent launched into the atmosphere at one point.
Yeah, we had a tarp.
All
Yeah,
6
we got there.
legs weighted down, launched itself into the atmosphere.
Absolutely insane. Crazy times.
Yeah.
Excited to get a video out.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I'm not very good at it.
No, you're not.
I just do my dangest.
Yeah, guys, we got about 10 minutes left of the live, so just let us know
Ask your questions.
if you got any other questions.
Rails.
If not, we're gonna ramble.
I'll ramble.
Ramble.
Just ask your question. You can ask airsoft related questions. You could ask non-airsoft related questions.
Personal question.
You could tell me why Ice Age is the greatest movie ever made, and the Big Floppa is the coolest animal to ever exist.
Ah,
Yes, it is. What is cooler?
raccoon.
Raccoons are not cooler. They're
Owls.
thieves.
And they cast spells on
No, they don't. Raccoons don't.
Behind
cast
you.
spells.
Trash spells.
Shut the hell up, dude.
Hey man, no swearing on the live.
Tom says the F word on the live.
What?
That's inappropriate. You need the ooh, the laugh. Where's the laugh track guy? Lacking over there, dude.
Bro, I can barely move my freaking arm. Dying over here.
I'm in Montana. It's 13 degrees here. Yep, that's cold.
Why is it so cold, bro? Just heat it up. Just walk outside with your hair dryer 15 minutes a day, and you'll warm it up.
You can help warm Montana.
What if everyone in Montana did that every day for 15 minutes? Walked outside with their hair dryer.
It would warm Montana.
Do you think it would actually warm up Montana?
No, it would not.
Okay, I don't know, bro. This is a stupid question.
It would not warm up Montana.
What if it did?
That'd be
Has anyone
nuts.
tested it?
I think no.
I think not.
I think not.
Coincidence?
I
think not.
The worst place you guys have been shot. The love handles.
Speak for yourself, bro. I mean, you can probably imagine where the worst place to get shot is.
The sack.
Yeah, thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
No,
Somebody had to say
still,
it.
no, love handles.
Honestly, I ain't even gonna front, dude. My nose was bad.
Oh, the nose is miserable.
Yeah.
But
Tip of the nose.
No,
Right?
I got shot right there one time, perfectly on my head, like my phone, and it made me want to throw up.
oh, I've been shot in a place a little lower, and it definitely was like, you know.
Yeah.
What was the worst place you felt like?
Montana is the third largest state in America. Well, that just means there's the third largest amount of hair dryers in the United States. I mean, statistically.
No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
I know it's not, but it is.
No.
I'm gonna look up how many hair. Someone Google how many hair dryers are owned in Montana, and then we need to produce. And then we need to mathematically calculate how much space, cubic space, of heat a hair dryer can produce, and then we multiply it, and then we put it over the size of Montana, and then we'll see.
That's not how it works.
It is in my head.
That's not how it works. At all.
I don't care.
That's not
Okay.
how it works.
Oh, the Adam's apple. Yeah, that'd be
Ooh,
nasty.
yeah.
I've definitely caught some heaters to the neck, but yeah, the tooth too.
The tooth is bad,
I've
but
never
like,
caught. Oh, I did. I caught one to the tooth, but it didn't break. It hit my upper lip and then hit the front tooth. And I was like, and it was still there, and I was like, thank God, you know.
I had that happen,
It's
and
terrifying.
my lip was like gushing blood, and I found the nearest dude. I was like, "Hey, my teeth still there?"
Why still have on my teeth? Yeah, it'd just be smart to just wear some lower protection.
I think when the Viking combative guys lost teeth at one of the Grimir ops I was at.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a. Yeah, that was Yeah, what if that was? Yeah, that was there. Yeah, he got a tooth shot out, but
Yeah.
it exposed the nerve.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
like
Yeah,
it was
bad.
like oh my God, I couldn't even imagine that. Like you get like a toothache, but you can imagine having an exposed nerve ending on a tooth, and it was freezing out. It was cold as hell. Like, oh, I'm cool. I'm cool on that one, Chief.
Ooh. Can you call your hit?
Oh, man, I don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know.
Double kill.
Double kill. Yeah, ask your question, boys. Like I said, it could be anything your heart desires. Anything.
What is your favorite piece of kit right now?
My favorite piece of kit that I own?
Yes.
My van. My favorite piece of kit I own right now is my van.
My dual PVS 14.
That's cool, man.
I mean,
That's
that
really
counts as a piece of kit, right?
No, that's
Is
two
that
pieces of
equipment?
kit.
Yeah, but
That's two pieces.
is that equipment or is that a piece of kit?
Doesn't kit and equipment kind of blend?
But I thought your kit carries your equipment, so like a magazine would be equipment.
Bro, you're getting too technical.
I'm just wondering, does it
I don't
count?
know. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I miss my East Coast boys.
We miss you
We
too.
miss you too. Big hearts.
How do you carry your EG67s in game? I would carry them in the noob tube or the
Yeah, the
is
MC Kydex.
the MC Kydex. I think it's called the noob
tube.
Yeah, because the major problem with EG67s, while they are awesome, is that they are made of like a really soft wall material.
Paper mache.
Yeah, it's like paper. It is. It's like paper mache, so you can crush them.
Yeah, but they explode.
And yeah, and that's what I mean. So like, that would probably be how I carry them most of the time. Other times, I do just like have them in a pouch somewhere random and use them that way, but I run the risk of breaking them.
So I'll use either the JTech grenade pouches or the Fort Emerald grenade. I mean, obviously, depending on the kit that I'm running. Or if you're really just wanting to send her home, big old dump pouch.
Yep.
Fill her to the brim. I'm going to be making an Instagram reel about how I wrap my EG67s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've been wanting to do that for a while. It really helps them out, and I'll take them like Harbor Freight is.
Yeah.
So I want to do that here shortly. Maybe I'll film it today. And then that way you don't run into the smooshing problem. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the VFC M2? The VFC.
Are you talking about the gas one?
One?
Oh, I am super excited for it. I haven't been able to fire it yet. I think Alphonse is probably going to get one in.
We should find a thing on our
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, the gas blowback one looks really cool. If it can get through mags and stuff, I'd really like to see how the gas is held. I assume it's the box mag. I mean, I'm assuming.
I would really like to see how it is too, because there's not a lot of gas LMGs for a really big reason, which is A, gas consumption, and B, just that rate of fire and the cool down factor of propane. Are
Pretty crazy if it ran like a 33 gram, like locked into the side or something.
Nuts.
That'd be pretty
That'd be
pretty
nuts.
wild. If you just locked a freaking big old CO2 cartridge in there.
Yeah. But I'm super excited for it. I really can't wait to start seeing some gameplay footage. We're probably gonna end up making a tab for it because people are gonna have it. But that is going to be really cool.
Yeah, assuming it takes like all your standard GBB buckings and things like that, you can get it to shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see more information on it. I mean, BFC does make some pretty awesome products. And like, I mean, as we've seen from the Elite Force Glock 17.5, they can make them very, very good.
And you look at the 416 as well.
That's KW.
No. BFC has 416.
Not the recent one. It's KW. Manufactured by KW. It's licensed.
Which one?
Just did a video a little bit ago.
The gas blowback?
Yes.
I thought that was just BFC.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the one that is made and manufactured by VFC. That is one of the best shooting gas blowbacks on the market outside of a GHK. A lot of people compare them.
We're also and a gas blowback PPSH.
I'm very interested to see
That would be sick.
I'm very interested on that just because it's GBL making it, which generally makes aftermarket parts for gas blowbacks and not a lot of actual full-on guns.
I just launched your
What did
caps.
you-
I'm like,
how did
sorry.
you even do that?
Well, this thing is on like a.
It's in the void.
It's in the void. So.
We got 1 minute left, guys. We're gonna end at 2, but
That looks dope. I
Yeah.
think that'll be really, really cool with the drum mag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Count me in.
yeah, definitely.
Freaking some like Tarkov kits. Isn't the PPSH in Tarkov?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of Tarkov. I'm terrible at it. It makes me very angry and sad and stressed, and then very, very quick moments.
I love Tarkov.
Very fun.
I love Tarkov because I just like doing scab raids, and then I get sad when I can't get a really cool gun that the scab had because I died.
He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. He's escaping from Tarkov. That's
And
my
then I
favorite thing that Eric has ever said.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's doing it. Yeah, that's about
That's about it, guys. It's 2 o'clock. We're gonna end it there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and then we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you guys. Next week.